everybody, I'm Joey Paul and I'm an indie author, and welcome back to my channel. I write young adult fiction across a variety of genres, and if things that might interest you, think about subscribing below. So today I thought I would give you my top 5 pieces of writing advice, since I've heard a lot over the years and it might help you as much as it's helped me. So number 1, it takes as long as it takes, and that's okay. You've all heard me talk about this one, but for those who haven't, my editor Kim and I were talking and I was stressing over when I was going to get all the things done. She just said that to me and something clicked in my head, and now it's a writing advice that I live by. At the end of the day, life happens. You can't always do things in the same amount of time, especially when, like me, you're chronically ill. Trying to overload yourself and push through the difficult moments is never going to lend itself to a health practice. There are times when you should push yourself a little, but it shouldn't ever be at the detriment of your health. I've always been a big advocate for breaks, and now is no different. If you need the break, take it, and if you have the time, take that too. There is no rush to publish, no rush to getting work out there, and it will take as long as it takes, and there is nothing wrong with that. It was something that especially resonated with me because at the time I wasn't as organised and productive as I am now. I was struggling to do all the uni work and keep up with my books and my life and the like. And even now, looking back and seeing how far I've come, it's still really good advice. It's something that you need to judge for yourself when it comes to managing your own load, but never think that there is a clock ticking down for you to get your work done. You can take your time, and when it happens, it happens. Number 2, put space between drafting and revising. This was a piece of advice given to me early in my writing career. At the time, I hadn't yet published, but I had written about 5 books, I think. I used to finish a project and then jump right back into it and try and make it better. And it wasn't working for me. So a friend told me that putting space between me and my project wasn't a bad thing. And nowadays when I finish a draft, it gets put away and then I come back to it a lot of time later. This allows me to have somewhat fresh ideas, and while reading through I can take the notes I need to make the story better. Sometimes that means stripping it down to the bare bones and rebuilding, sometimes less than that. But without all that space between the first draft and the second, I just don't have the objectivity needed to get it all done right. So if you're trying to revise and it's not working, maybe consider taking a step back for a while, if at all possible. Number 3. Everyone's writing process is different, and that's okay. When I first got into writing, way back in the days before social media, I was really isolated and didn't really know if what I was doing was the right thing. Once social media came along, I could see everyone else seemingly all doing the same thing, and it wasn't what I was doing. I can't remember where I got this piece of advice from, but it stuck with me. At the end of the day, you're going to see that everyone has a different way of doing things. I'm not just talking about planning or pantsing or anything in between, but just the way people approach each project. You can see that here on Authortube, where I might do something one way, all the other channels will also do things their own way. It's great to hear about other people's processes, because then you can try and see if it works for you. But if it doesn't, don't feel like you're doing it wrong. There is no wrong way to write a book. Every single writer does things differently, no two are alike, and that's completely okay. Number 4, motivation doesn't write books, dedication does. I heard this one on Rachel Bateman's channel, which I will link below. It's something she's been vocal about, and she's very much right. At the end of the day, we can be inspired and we can be motivated, but like with most creative pursuits, that feeling will go, it will wax and wane, and we just can't wait around for motivation or inspiration to hit. You have to keep moving forward with each project. Dedication is what keeps you writing every day, it's what keeps you working on your project, and at the end of it all, it's dedication that will give you a finished book. It's one of the reasons that I've been able to be so productive with my work. I know that motivation, that buzz of starting a new project, will disappear eventually. But no matter what, I will keep putting fingers to keyboard and keep writing my chapters until I'm done. And that's a really good thing to learn how to do, even if it does take you a while to get that balance right. Do I have days off? Oh yes, very much so. But I also know that I need to keep writing to keep moving forward. Number 5, the only limit is your imagination. Again, this one I can't remember where I heard it or read it, but it's also so very true. There are no limits on a story, on what kind of stories you can tell. It's all about your imagination and what comes from that. Most creative people have a really good imagination, and you can take that and run with it when it comes to writing books. There are no limits on telling stories, and there's no reason you can't take that plot idea, no matter how off the wall it may be, and tell it your own way. No one else in the world can write the story the exact same way that you're going to, so don't feel like you're limited because of the idea. You can take it, run with it, and make it your own, and there will always be an audience, no matter how small, for that particular story. It's something I've learned very much so over the years of writing, and very much so over the years of publishing. There is always an audience for every story. No matter how small it may be, you just have to reach it. So there we go, those are my top 5 pieces of writing advice. This video ended up shorter than I thought it was going to be, but you know, it's one of those things. I really do feel like writing advice is something that you should take with a grain of salt. Sometimes it applies to you, sometimes it doesn't, but there are no hard and fast rules when it comes to writing and creating and all of that. So what's your favourite piece of writing advice? Let me know in the comments down below. So that's all I've got time for today. If you want to support my channel, you can comment, like, or subscribe. I post new videos on Thursdays. You can find me all over social media, and my books are available everywhere. And don't forget to pick up Lights Off, which is the third in a young adult dystopian trilogy. And also don't forget to grab a ticket for Author City in Birmingham in July 2023, where I'll be signing books. All the links for which are listed below. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep writing. Bye!